the 15 to 17-year-old will also try to engage in power struggles. And as an adult with a 15 to 17-year-old child, you will never win. 15 to 17-year-olds have far more stamina than we do as adults to stay in there and to be unreasonable, and they will wear you down. The most effective way to deal with a teenager when they're not acting in a responsible way, when they're acting in kind of that belligerent or antagonistic way, is to set the expectation, be clear with the limit, and disengage. The other thing is don't take it personally. Now, when you take it personally, that's going to be a clue for you that your inner 15-year-old is getting triggered. So all of the adolescent ages are really, really valuable in terms of looking at where we get triggered with our own biological children. And if for some reason you're in a power struggle with one of your children, then look to see what that mirrors within you, because you're going to have to clean that up before you can come into a healthy relationship with your biological child. Also, and I don't know why I'm going into this right now other than I just remembered it, but the thing that often happens also is that as we are beginning to develop a relationship with our biological children or the children in our lives, it doesn't have to be biological, the inner child is going to watch that. And the inner child can act up if he or she determines that you're giving that child more than you're willing to give him or her. So it's really valuable information to begin to track. All right, so with that said and done, let's start dealing with a little bit of this power struggle and the rebellion and the carving out of that individuality. The 12 to 15-year-old mimicked the 3 to 6. The 15 to 17-year-old revisits all the issues of the toddler. So wherever the toddler did not get to really step into his or her independence, the 15 to 17-year-old now has to brush that off and has to do that in a more vivacious way. So it can be intimidating or it can be empowering. All right, so let's begin to do some work with this part of self. Again, take a deep breath, and with all of these stages of development, I really recommend that you read the blog before walking through the tapping, because it's going to enrich how you relate to this part of self. All right. Even though I am aware of this rebellious energy within me, and I see this being expressed even in my adult life, I want to sustain the energy of the inner adult so that I can relate to my inner adolescent without collapsing and letting him or her be in charge. So even though I have this antagonistic energy, and sometimes I experience it internally, and other times it gets projected out, I am now willing to fully embrace this adolescent within me. I am willing to learn how to listen to his or her truth, so that together we can carve out our unique self. So even though there's times when I'm a bit intimidated by this energy within me, and I can be intimidated by the energy of a teenager who's in my life as well, I choose to begin to work with this energy. I choose to empower the inner adult to get the support that I need so that I can develop a healthy relationship with this teenager who can speak my truth. This adolescent energy, it can really intimidate me. I can feel passive. I can rebel. I can cower. I can flip into being aggressive. I can just not play the game at all. This age within me triggers my compulsions more than any other. I'm scared of its anger. I'm scared of its power. I'm scared of this part of me when he or she acts out. There were so many wounds at this time in my life that I'm afraid I have a lot of intense work if I am to befriend this part of me and welcome this part back home. But I am willing to go on that journey with this teenager within me. I know that he or she can speak my truth. I want, as the adult self, to get strong enough so that I can engage in a partnership that empowers the two of us to live our truth. I understand that anger is truth unspoken. And when this adolescent within me has an edge, I'm willing to ask him or her what it is that needs to be said. I strive to develop a relationship with this inner adolescent so that together we can claim all our gifts, our unique talents, and be one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, continue to work with this part of self because, again, the rewards are just, amazing when you really feel like you have integrated that ability to be your unique, authentic self and speak your truth without anger or rage and to just be in your heart. Then you will know that you have healed your adolescent within.